All right. Thank you so much. Continue to help us to share and like and subscribe. All the nice things that we need to do to get this message across. Welcome. We get to share throughout as we are watching. Please continue to hit the like button. It helps to get rid of the algorithm so that more people can get this information. And we do want to extend our gratitude to those that are calling during the week, sending messages, trying to connect, trying to figure out what to do. We appreciate you. This is our movement. It does not belong to anyone. I do not have one in my pocket and the other one in other pockets. This is our liberation for the future of our children. We want our people to live life with dignity, to live life abundantly, to not wait for God to come and give them life, that life can actually begin here.
Yes.
So welcome. Like we mentioned before, there's a lot of noise in our background. When I mention background, I'm referring to home, where we come from. A lot has been going on. The funny thing is that while our lives are trying to change, something crazy will happen where it will deviate from what we are discussing initially to some crazy stuff, like it happens all the time. But notwithstanding, we must continue. So our topic goes that tension heightens as Nigerians seek justice. Tension heightens as Nigerians seek justice. So for those of us that are comfortable in our domain, we still record that we have our people on ground living this life in a place called Nigeria. So we must be in tune with what is going on so that at every point in time, we can give them appropriate information. Your life or your land was a chilling ultimatum issued by Buhari's aide Femi Adesina in 2018. This warning currently reverberates daily in our hearts as the American Congress moves to reinstate the sanctions on Nigeria over the killing of Christians and other religious minorities. Since that infamous proclamation, countless Nigerians have been robbed of their lives and properties, their losses overshadowed by the grim reality spawned from Nigeria's twisted and inverted federalism, a system that we all know too well was imposed on indigenous peoples by the gangs of evil 1967 alliance. These victims, though silenced but not defeated, have been seeking for justice and retribution from the government that we know is illegitimate, a regime born of interregnum marked by treachery and state capture. Then it begs the question, what justice can come from a stolen mandate and a state capture that led to the collapse of the Constitution and the three arms of government? What a pretense. So today, we will delve into unsettling truth that Nigeria has become a crime scene, a land marred by armed robbery and ethno-religious massacre, a land that I describe as an open-air prison yard for the most intelligent Black people on earth. So to effectively confront and halt this descent into chaos, we are calling on those who yearn for justice to cast aside their pretenses and wholeheartedly embrace the leader's self-determination proposition. The good news, though, is that the time is now as we are in a vantage point. So I will pull up the video of the day. Brothers and sisters, I'm not on camera today because my head is on fire. I don't want you guys to see the fire. We need to focus. We need to focus on the issues at hand and not on the hair, okay? So I will return next week. I'll be pulling up the video of the day while my sister adds. Sister, go ahead. Let me find this video.
Yeah, so like my sister said, this conversation has been going on. People did not keep quiet. And our Bishop Wilfred Anagbe of Makurdi took his own campaign to US and then made some presentation. And in that presentation, he described Militant Fulani Herdsmen as terrorists who attack Christians and other religious minorities without consequences. No consequences. And we ask, where will consequences come from? From those that sold their soul to Fulani to win elections? They are not there to represent the people. They are only there to represent their pockets. And then the church leaders are not even any different. They don't care. You remember when Adeboye of RCCG went to thank El-Rufai after they shot the head of one of his pastors at Abuja. So please, let's listen to this bishop. At least someone is saying something. Thank you.
Not appear here as the bishop, the Catholic Bishop of Makurdi Diocese, the capital of Benue State in Nigeria. I am the shepherd of one of the 4 Catholic dioceses in Benue. We have others, Anglican, Methodist, and Pentecostals, which sort of them. Benue State has a population of about 6.1 million people, 2 million of whom are those under my care as the bishop of the diocese. Benue State is about 98% Christian, with very few Muslims living in towns. Nigeria and eventually my diocese and the state of Benue have become, in recent years, one of the most dangerous and insecure places for Christians. Christians and Muslims are nearly evenly divided among Nigeria's large population of over 200 million persons. Islamist extremists are fiercely contesting the possession, control, and governing law of the land, especially in the country's northern and central regions, the latter of which is where Benue is located. There are constant ethnic, political, and religious conflicts over land and allegiance. Constitutionally, we are a secularist country, but our unity has been fragile. Political and religious actions and even public speech have been carefully managed to avoid accusations of religious bias and political tensions. Today, the clear influence of Islamist extremists has changed the traditional social dynamics of tribe, ethnicity, religion, and the social status in Nigeria. Because just recently, at the beginning of the Ramadan fast, 12 states in northern Nigeria have declared closed schools so that they attend to this. And you can imagine which other country in the world does that. Saudi Arabia is not doing it. Afghanistan is not doing it. Baghdad is not doing it, but then Nigeria is practicing. What kind of Islam are they practicing? 12 states, and not only Muslims are living in these places. What happens with the educational program or curriculum of the country? But this is what we are going through every day in Nigeria. A long-term Islamic agenda to homogenize the population has been implemented over several presidencies through a strategy to reduce and eventually eliminate the Christian identity of half of the population. This strategy includes both violent and non-violent actions, such as the exclusion of Christians from positions of power and adoption of such church members, the raping of women, the killing and exploitation of Christians, the destruction of churches and farmlands of Christian farmers, followed by the occupation of such lands by the Fulani herders, and also changing the names of these villages. They are taking over the places, so you clearly see an expansionist approach and Islamic, and then they are making the people now flee and leave their villages, and they conquer it. The quest to Islamalize the land appears high on the agenda of some of the powerful and influential Muslims in Nigeria. There is a campaign to take land to spread Islam, and there is the hemorrhaging of Christian farmers from the central region of Nigeria and Benue State, Makurdi Diocese in particular, as they are forced to abandon fertile lands that used to feed the nation, which classify Benue as the food basket of the nation. Militant Fulani Herdsmen are terrorists destroying society. They steal and vandalize, they kill and boast about it. They kidnap and rape, and they enjoy total impunity from the elected authorities. None of them have been arrested and brought to justice. This is supported by the corrupt system in which we operate and the abject poverty among us, which allow the criminals to easily attract more recruits and prey on more victims. Why is this happening? Is it really a religious war? Like in the past, many jihadists are motivated less by religion than by spoils of war and use their religion to impose themselves. In my diocese, the spoils consist mainly of fertile, well-tended land organized around my parishes or so. The jihadists come and adopt and kill the priests, leaving thousands without support and basic human services. And of course, when they disperse the people, the inhabitants, or the citizens, or the people of the lands, they take over. And any attempt to go back and take care of your farms, surely you get killed. The Makurdi diocese in Benue State has been the epicenter of the invasion by these herders who are more like hired guns of cattle oligarchies, who manipulate religion to rally the herders to eliminate the Christian population and cleanse the land in the name of Islam. This objective is behind the relentless attacks against Benue's villages. When we call for help to the police and the army, they do not come. At the end of 2024, several villages were warned by the attackers of the upcoming violence, and the leaders called the police for defense ahead of time. But they did not come, and the Christian massacres, almost customary, took place, killing hundreds in Plateau and Benue, with the worst massacre claiming 47 people. The militant also burned down the 8 Catholic churches of St. Mary's Parish in the Diocese of Boko, which in Benue State, as well as the parish house, clinics, schools, and other houses. The militant Fulani herdsmen bear on defenseless villagers without consequences. They follow orders to conquer, kill, and occupy. They attack even those who have managed to escape into our IDP camps. Thereby, they have no place to run to. And it is unfortunate that the police system in Nigeria, orders have to come from above. And such that once there's a call, and they say they have never responded. And by the time they arrive, these people have left, and the people are now living in the pool of their blood. What I have recounted above is happening not only in Benue State. I believe our experience in Benue is symptomatic of what is happening elsewhere in large parts of Nigeria. The experience of the Nigerian Christians today can be summed up as that of a church under Islamist extermination. It is frightening to live there. Apart from the violent campaigns and attacks against Christian villages, there are now attempts by the Islamic Council of Nigeria and various Islamic groups to impose Sharia law on the Christian populations. Already, 12 states in the north of Nigeria are under this sectarian religious law, and attempts to extend the same to the south of Nigeria, which they have started. This month, governors in the north decided abruptly to close all schools and education institutions during the months of Ramadan, leaving millions of students without learning opportunity for 5 weeks. We live in fear because at any point it can be our turn to be killed, but to remain silent is to die twice. So I have chosen to speak. I speak on behalf of the millions who are in the camps. In Benue State, in Makurdi diocese alone, in my diocese, I have about 9 camps. 9. On the 5th of March, which was Ash Wednesday, we visited one of the camps, and many of my priests and religious went to the other camps, distributed them to begin the Ash Wednesday with our faithful who are there, because we are the voice of the voiceless. We have to talk for the defenseless. We have to talk about the weak and those who cannot talk about themselves. In one of the camps called the Mega Camp, there were over 3,000 inmates of that camp, and which was a record given to us by government. I speak on behalf of them and those children who have no husband, who have no father, and even their own voices taken away by the politicians who promised to help them, but have become the willing tools of the jihadists because they are talking politically correct statements, looking for next elections to come. I speak on behalf of those whose loved ones have been killed, but no one has even offered a word of consolation to them. I speak on behalf of the thousands of young girls who have been adopted and raped because no one, not even the media, mentions them anymore. Foremost, I speak on behalf of my flock who are unable to worship freely and unable to return to their ancestral farms and homes because that land has been ruthlessly taken from them by the armed herdsmen. And where they say they want to live in peace with the natives, if you must farm, you have to pay tax to hire the land which belongs to you. That is slavery, to say the least about it. As prosperous Nigeria is in African continent, and tell you, if there's outbreak of war in Nigeria, no country around us, Chad, Niger, Ghana, Guinea, Togo. No country can contain the population that will flee to these places. No country can be able to house over 5 million refugees. It's not possible because of that. And if 1 million refugees run to Chad and Niger, they'll collapse that country because there'll be no plan to take care of them. So we have to be very careful. Today, I urge you all to use every means within your mandate to start developing a strong and good relationship with Nigeria where you know.
All right, we'll stop this video here. It's almost done. We'll post it in its entirety on our page. You can see our brother is devastated. You know, he's lamenting to those that are in charge of the issues that we have on hand anyhow. You know, they go and create problems somewhere and then they watch us come and give testimonies, and it's all orchestrated by USAID and all of them. And they watch this mayhem. We sit there as a man of God that is manning their Roman Catholic for them, you know, the faithfuls, the flock. We take care of them, we pray for them. And all at the same time, while we are praying, they will send their other cronies to come and deliver terror on their behalf. Go ahead, my sister, while I pull up the next video.
Yeah, so imagine what would have happened if all the so-called religious leaders have gone out to all their various places that the kingdom that they are marketing to us came from, to say they are killing our people. What can we do now? We need solution now. No, but they will turn around and just feel free with themselves, doing whatever they want to do.
Midweek service,
night vigil, everything that is not needed to solve the problem. Preaching you to Christ, preaching Christ to you, leading you to Christ, taking you to heaven when you are in hellfire. Our brother Oraka said, Christians don't care about their fellow Christians. They are strong when it comes to attacking their traditionalists. And that's the truth. So, and they are working with the political merchants to make sure that this thing continues. And it's unfortunate. So we will pull up some, because we like the Congress, US Congress, we'll pull up some write-up for us so that we'll just read through and see what is going on, because it's conversation. Like we keep saying on this platform, lamentation will not solve the problem. It will not help us. Nope. But there's concrete plan on the table, and negotiation on how to solve the problem is ongoing. No matter how long your Nigerian misrulers, the political merchants will deceive you and tell you that nothing is going on. Christians are not dying. We're okay, because we see the newspapers and all the things, the trash that are vomiting while people are dying on daily basis. So no matter the lies that are spreading, after all, when Mike Pence was vice president in the US, invited Osibanjo, the vice president then of Nigeria, that are clean Christians. He said, no, they're not clean Christians. And he called him a liar to his face. So that conversation started and is ongoing. US Congress approves Trump's sanctions against Nigeria. Some people think this is a joke. Some people think that, okay, what is going on? My dear, let's see the next one. We'll break it down for you. Like we keep saying, we're here to break down the things to you. So we have already shown you the video where our brother Bishop Wilfred took his campaign to the people that he feels might say something about this case. Then they're working with someone, Smith, who will tell you who Smith is eventually. Smith condemned the Nigeria government because we keep telling our people that there are two groups in the US politics, the Republicans and the Democrats, and we chase policies based on policies. It's not based on their name, policies. You know the one that you work with. Smith condemned the Nigerian government for failing to protect Christians from widespread violence and abductions. And we tell you, it's not just Christians that are being killed. It is ethno-religious cleansing, that cleansing villages. So it's not just Christians being killed. When you are going to tell them these things, please say the right thing. Smith cited a report by Observatory for Religious Freedom in Africa detailing over 55,000 killings between 2019 and 2023. And your Nigerian government say, no, Christians are safe. Christians are not being killed. As if they are living in La La Land. The report also documented 21,000 abductions linked to religious violence in Nigeria. And we say again, it's ethnic cleansing, not just religious violence. It's ethnic cleansing masquerading as religious jihad or religious violence. We pull up another one. So we told you I would tell you who Chris Smith is the chairman of the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa. He announced the decision after a congressional hearing. And we told you that Nina's team, they've been working with these people. They've taken the details of what is going on to these people. So some of our members of Nina's team, they know these people one-on-one. So Smith criticized former President Joe Biden's administration, that is Democrats that some of you are supporting, for removing Nigeria from the country of particular concern. Because here on this platform, we deal with facts. We don't have time for lies. We don't have time for propaganda. When we tell you, you go and check. Ordinary Google, you get the information you need. So those of you that cannot sit down, and even some that want to work with Ninas, they still hobnobbing with the people that are killing us.
Yeah, their policies are against your survival.
I don't know what to tell you people. I honestly don't know what to say, but we are here to inform our people. We are here to educate our people. And I'm happy that our people that are not even living in US that are following the discussion. So if you're living in US and you decide to be ignorant and do things that are counterproductive, it's on you. We don't have anything to tell you. We keep moving. So Trump had initially placed Nigeria on the CPC list due to severe religious persecution and attacks against Christians. And I say again, not just Christians, it's ethnic cleansing. Christians,
which the last administration told you there's nothing going on.
Exactly.
So we know who the last administration is, right?
Okay. You know how they work together. Of course, this report, we're reading it from Diaspora Digital Media. It's just a media, so we give credit. We'll give credit on this platform. He might not be accurate in his reporting, but we're just giving you some of the things he said. It is ethnic cleansing, not just Christians being killed. Christians and other Islamic and other religious minorities. So it's everybody that are killing. What is interest? The resources in the land. They are cleansing everybody. Like you heard in the video that we played, they cleanse you, take your land, rename it so that they can have access to the resources in the land. They are not killing you because of Jesus Christ. They are killing you because of the resources in your land. They are not killing you because of Muhammad. They are killing you because of the resources in your land. That's why it is ethnic cleansing. They are cleaning the whole indigenous people on the land where the resources they need are located. So Smith argued that the stealing from this category allowed the violence to escalate unchecked. He reintroduced a resolution urging the U.S. government to reinstate Nigeria as the CPC on the CPC list. And then they said, if violence continues, the resolution calls for imposing further sanctions against Nigeria. Smith warned that immediate intervention is necessary to prevent what he called religious cleansing in Nigeria. Ethnic cleansing, we say again. He insisted that those responsible for these attacks must be held accountable for their crimes. No, interregional government will not hold them accountable because he had to sign agreement with them before they can vote him in, put him inside. It is give and take. They sell the people then so that they will be in the position and amass wealth on the blood of their people. So they will not hold the criminals accountable. They will turn the other eye and say, oh, no, nothing is happening. Or they will tell you it's weather that is disturbing them. Or they will look for one lie or the other and tell, because they are all part of the criminal gangs. One group killing and the other one stealing. This hearing should be a catalyst for action, Smith stated while addressing the committee. He emphasized that imposing sanctions has historically led to positive changes in other countries. The decision by Congress reflects growing international concern over religious violence in Nigeria. And we say again, it's not just religious violence, it's ethnic cleansing masquerading as religious violence. If implemented, these sanctions could significantly affect diplomatic relations between US and Nigeria. It has to affect it, and it must affect it. Observers believe the Nigerian government may face pressure to take stronger action against religious violence. They will even take action. The pressure is coming. It's not even to take action against just violence. For things to happen, the situation remains critical as Christian communities continue to suffer attacks across Nigeria. He called for swift action to ensure justice for victims of religious violence. It is ethnic cleansing, justice for our people. It started since 1966. When they hijacked Nigeria, they killed Biafrans, they starved children to death. The killings have not stopped. It has continued, going from one region to the other. It's ethnic cleansing. They want to annihilate everybody because of the resources in the land. The proposed sanctions and diplomatic engagements will be closely monitored in the coming months. The people reporting are the ones saying this. We are in the midst of the work. No, we are not monitoring it closely. We are moving it. Pressure is mounting on Nigeria to implement effective security measures to protect its Christian population. It's everybody, not just Christians. Smith stressed that silence is not an option while thousands of innocent lives are at risk. The global community must act to safeguard religious freedom and end targeted violence in Nigeria. Okay, so
this is sad though, sister, with all the churches that we have, right? All the big daddy GEOs and their flights and their planes and their lifestyles and their, well known all over the world. This is happening and they have nothing to say about it. My people still believe that they're serving God.
Yeah, and that's what we keep telling people. Anybody preaching anything to you and not telling you about how we're going to end this 1999 constitution so that we free the indigenous people, stop going to such places. Those people are criminals. I don't care the title, bishop, archbishop, pope, whatever they answer. They are blood suckers. Stay away from them. Because as all these killings are going on, they turn their face to the other side. What is important to them is how they're going to get elected and how they will share. And they buy private jets, build school, then build for their children and their children, and continue like that. We cannot like this. You the people, we can't continue this way. Our brother Obi Ukwama says Nigerians are now in a state of nature where everybody is just killing everybody. It's unfortunate. And we told you that what is causing it, the 1999 unitary constitution imposed on the people, tying the hands of everybody so that everybody will be exterminated. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for this interactive session. We thank our sister Christiana Kolowele. We thank Isi Momodu, Tony Nadi. We are seeing you. Please continue to share, continue to comment, because this is interactive. Drop your message, we will read it out, and we continue this conversation.